Is it possible that we do not fully understand or realize all there is to know about who we are, and why we are where we are? The understanding of which could change everything. Experiences, truths, and realities. Hi, I'm Daniel Leahy, and thank you for joining me today. Has the question ever entered your mind on what it is going to take for your life to really take off? The topic of the video that you are now watching is how we create our truths and our realities. It's part 3. The first 2 videos of this study were on the understanding of perspectives and perceptions. I would encourage you to view the first and second video before moving on to part 3. The intention of the first 2 videos is to set a base of understanding about our perspectives and our perceptions, and to show how they work. Are we using them in order to have a stronger foundation to build on for flexibility, or are we using them in a way that is hindering us by keeping us resistant to change? They can serve both purposes, you know. There are 3 categories that we as humans mostly resist change in, and they are our health, our finances, and our relationships. This is so odd because, as we all can agree, there is always changes happening in all of these. Let's start by addressing these next 3 segments today: experiences, truths, and realities. Starting with experience. If I may, I would like to sum up experience as all of the situations of life that we have had individually, beginning from our mother's womb until this present day. We gather all of these experiences and then store them, and also categorizing them in the imaginary cabinets we hold in our brains. And from this, we establish and determine them as absolutes by calling our experiences our truths. The question which we could be asking ourselves is, are these truths absolute? I mean, are they serving us in a way that will lead us to abundant living, or are they keeping us stuck in an unfulfilled life? Now that the possibility exists that we have created and determined these as absolute truths from our individual experiences, how can we declare and demand these individual truths are for everyone across the board? Just imagine, if you will, if we were born into a different culture, a different geographical location, or the living out of our lives as a different gender. Wouldn't our perspectives and our perceptions and our experiences and our truths be different from what they are now, individually for us? My intention regarding this dialogue is to hopefully create beneficial awareness for all of the viewers, and to present the possibility that there is no good or bad, right or wrong, but rather only that which serves us as we navigate through this life of ours. Can we imagine for a moment a reality where the possibility exists that there are as many truths as there are individuals creating them? From my observation, and that's all I can speak from, if we have a group of people having similar experiences, we can see through the lenses of history that man has determined by proxy that if we get others to agree with our personal ideas, these agreed upon thoughts can from this day forward now be determined as truths. But the question still remains, doesn't it? Are these absolute truths? Are these truths for everyone across the board, or are they beneficial for all of us throughout this vast planet? Just ponder all of the diversity on this planet that we call Earth. Here are some important questions that I consider extremely important for me, and hopefully for all of us. Is it possible that we do not fully understand or realize all there is to know about who we are, and why we are where we are? The understanding of which could change everything. And if you desire to unwrap these questions further for yourself, I encourage you to pick up the book entitled The Storm Before the Calm, written by New York Times best-selling author Neil Donald Walsh. I believe the topic that we're talking about is on page 44, if I remember correctly. It is. This reminds me also of a quote. I first heard this while watching the late great Dr. Wayne Dyer in one of the 30-plus PBS documentaries or specials that he contributed to us, and also by reading the many books he authored. Here's the quote: "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." Wayne was actually quoting Max Planck, a German theoretical physicist who is known as the founder of quantum physics. Essentially, Max Planck demonstrated that when an individual looks at an object, the characteristics of this object actually change at the molecular level. Awesome, huh? We all can and we all get to see all of these things around us as we get to choose. Because what we focus on, we get more of. I know for myself that if I'm experiencing a reality that is unpleasant to me, and who of us haven't, I can merely choose to see the experience from a different perspective or a different point of view, which will create for me a different reality. It's my choice, and only my choice, to see all of the things how I created them. I know that we can all think of a people or a person in our lives that would say to this thought, "I'm not going to make any different choice or thoughts than what I believe and have made right now." But even making a statement like that is still making a choice, which is the cause behind the reality that you're choosing. We all have been inundated from our start with thoughts and behaviors from so many other sources that we end up talking ourselves into thinking that we own these thoughts. But is that real? We could all agree that the only possibilities that can happen is what has already occurred and has been observed. Yet, as in the early ages of shipbuilding, the ship designers did not learn the understanding of flotation by the studying of sinking of things. They focused on how and why the things floated. Likewise, the creators of aviation, the Wright brothers, did not learn the understanding of flight by contemplating the staying on the ground of things, but rather they contemplated all of the flying species and how and why they were able to fly. These early inventors and creators came from an understanding that 100% of everything is possible 100% of the time. They're not defining themselves or their inventions by what has already happened up to that space and time. You know, I had the wonderful opportunity for 4 years of my life to work in 5 different treatment centers. There was this powerful affirmation that was frequently used by the staff and residents. It goes like this: if you continually do what you have continually done, you will continually get what you have always gotten. As we consider the understanding this video and so many other sources are giving us, we can therefore assume that we are all creating our own realities. This understanding allows us to take back our power and no longer present or validate ourselves from one of victimization. Here's some more questions for us. What do we intend to do about it? What is it that you desire to create within your own life? What new and different thoughts are you willing to choose, allowing you to take back your authenticity? What thoughts are you willing to choose or to let go of that are not serving your grandest vision for yourself? You know, we speak about science. It's also been revealed by scientific research that what we give attention to, we get more of. What we focus on becomes more powerful. What we resist persists. Do you find yourself looking for what's right around the world, or do you find yourself looking for what's wrong? What thoughts seem to be captivating your attention today? Let's bring this segment to a close with a review. We can therefore deduce that our individual perspectives, our individual perceptions, our individual experiences, and our individual truths create our individual realities. We have objective reality, which can be defined as that which exists outside of perception, not dependent on the mind. We have subjective reality, which is defined as containing no objects, only memories and experiences, which lies in actual events but distinctly separate from the objective reality. And there is the reality of being neutral observers towards all that is occurring in physicality, which can be called ultimate reality. This can be defined as not being regulated by duality, being able to see both sides of the coin, heads and tails, and viewing things from a divine perspective, a divine perception, experience, and truth. This topic of ultimate reality would be an amazing topic for another discussion. But for right now, I remember being in a coffee shop with a coworker of mine from that treatment center and talking about this very subject. At the end of my presentation to him, I looked at him and said, "So my determination is that the only absolute truths that there may be in this life is that there is no absolute truth." He looked across the table at me square in the eye and said, "Absolutely!" I let out a belly laugh so loud that I feel everybody heard me within the entire city block. There are as many perspectives, perceptions, experiences, truths, and realities as there are individuals creating them. What truths are you using to create your reality? Are they providing an abundant, fulfilled life? If so, keep on keeping on. If this is in question, you get to make a different choice for yourself. So thank you for sharing your time with me. I have had a wonderful week, and I want you to have a wonderful week. And if you feel that someone you know can benefit from this dialogue, please share this with them. I would love to hear how this topic is showing up in all of you. Mainly because I genuinely care about you, because you are important to me. And most of all, I desire for you to be important to you, for you to see how magnificent you are. This is Daniel Leahy saying bye for now.